Hi everyone, welcome back to the Nature Talks Podcast. Today we are here with Divyasha. Hi Divyasha, how are you?
Hi Verhaen, I'm good. How are you?
I'm good. Thanks for coming on the show. And everybody, this is Divyasha. She's environmentalist, and today you can see both of us are wearing blue. So that's the theme for today. It's water. And Divyasha has been studying about water. She's going to tell us something about her journey in the education line of water. What all have you learned about water?
Okay, so I have done my master's in water policy and governance from Tata Institute of Social Sciences, Mumbai.
Yeah,
Yeah,
TIS, right?
TISS, right. So we touched upon a lot of themes during the course. We touched upon rivers, we touched upon hydrology, we touched upon the basic water cycle, we touched upon groundwater, we touched upon water and culture, water and gender, water and development, water and supply.
Yeah.
So
You were telling me that you didn't choose this course chose you.
Yes, exactly. I had actually applied for a different course. I wanted to do study environment for sure, but I had applied for a parallel course called climate change and environment, and because I had more options, so I had kept water as a backup for me. But and the reason was like which a lot of people I also feel, and I also used to feel, is that what would I learn about water more than, yes, it's an essential resource, and yes, it needs to be saved, and that's all. But once I got into the course, I realized that it's a whole world in its own, and everything that we at the moment want to achieve, be it reduction in poverty, be it better employment, be it better health, be it better gender equality, everything is related to water, and that just fascinated me a lot.
Yeah, you were telling me how everything is connected to water, and what kind of problems are we facing? What kind of solutions are there? You were saying there's a lot of water scarcity in India, which people don't know about. So, can you touch upon that?
Well, I mean, India has abundant resources. As we know, there are a lot of rivers, and it rains quite a lot. But increasingly with years, and increasing population, and with poor management of water, we are driving ourselves into water scarcity, which might not be true initially. So it's also a very diverse country, from states like Rajasthan, where there are only 5 days of rain in
Throughout the
year.
year.
Yeah, throughout the year, to a state like Meghalaya, which has 150 days. So it is very diverse spatially and also temporally, because it rains a lot. We see that it rains a lot, but it rains only for a few days, around 45 days in the whole
Where?
year.
Cherrapunji.
Not Cherrapunji, like an average.
Okay.
Like an
So
average in
the-
India, yeah.
okay.
Yeah. So it's just 45 days. It's not like London where it keeps on raining.
Yeah.
So when the water falls, we need to conserve it. We need to make sure that it infiltrates in the ground, and it is saved up as a stock to be used later. And with all this deforestation, because a lot of deforestation that is happening, and a lot of concretization that is happening.
The soil is getting cemented everywhere.
Yes, so the water is not going inside, it's just running off. And then we make dams. Then we further damage the whole riverine ecosystem, because we want to save that water for use. So it's like, instead of solving the issue, we are just giving temporary reliefs, which is aggravating the problem in the longer run.
It has more negative effects.
Yes.
In the short.
Yes, in the longer term, which people, all of us, often fail to see. Yeah.
So you said this is a 2-year course which you had gone on, right?
Yeah.
And before that, like, I'll just give a little bit background. 2 years back, you had come for one of our nature walks at Yamuna Biodiversity Park.
Yes.
Which is also something to do with water. It's
Definitely.
on the floodplains of the river Yamuna. And
The river is, if we talk about river, let's talk about river for, let's say, because let's make it a little Delhi specific. There are three rivers in Delhi, chief rivers. That's Yamuna, that's Sahibi, and there's Hindon.
Hindered. Yeah.
But it's a sad trajectory that now these are not rivers anymore, these are nalas.
Yeah.
And just imagine, rivers have become nalas. It's very sad. And now Yamuna is also or almost a nala.
Yeah, when it enters Delhi, it's clear water.
Yeah.
But by the time it's leaving Delhi, it's really
Yes.
dirty, black, thick water.
Yes.
It's not even water anymore.
Yes. And the problem and the issue is very multi-phased, because it has to do with the domestic waste,
Yeah.
but it has also to do with the floodplains.
Okay.
All right, because
The constructions on the floodplains.
the construction on the floodplains. So basically, floodplains are supposed to be like sponges.
Yeah, to
you know,
collect the
to
extra water.
Extra water, to make the river perennial,
Yeah.
right? But if you construct on the floodplains, we're basically cutting off the groundwater. We're cutting off the quantity of water in the river.
Yeah.
So if it's not the water, then what's the river? So
And yeah, like throughout human civilization, throughout history, human civilizations have always started next to a water body,
yes,
next to a river or next to the coastline, or it
yes.
always needs water.
And a lot of civilizations have gone extinct because of the
Losing
scarcity of
water,
water and
yeah.
the losing water.
So yeah, and that's what we're doing right now.
Yeah,
We're
we're
doing this.
basically digging our own grave.
Yeah. So that's it's quite a sad situation. How do we fix the things now? How do we fix this problem? The listeners, the youth out there who are listening to podcasts, they're going to hear this. So what can they do to make a difference in this?
A lot needs to be done at many levels. Okay, so but I'll make it very simple. As an individual, you need to be conscious of your own water demands. See, for a long time, what has happened is that engineers and the government has taken the responsibility of supplying water to you. No, you don't have to be worried about water. You just have to demand it because it's your right. Okay, so it has to be given to you. So what has happened eventually is that the connect between you and the water source has been disconnected. It's no more. So we don't care about the source. We just care about the water. So I think a lot of problems will start solving themselves if we start connecting back ourselves to the source. Why don't we visit the river that flows in our city, like just once? How many of us, like 3-4 years ago, I didn't know how to reach Yamuna. That's really sad. That's really sad that the water that is coming to my house, I don't know where it's coming from.
Yeah.
Okay, and right now in Delhi, the general narrative is like you can put a 10,000 Jaguar shower, and that's great. But what's coming and where it's coming from, we have no idea about that. So we need to connect to the source first. We need to reduce our demand as much as we can, and we don't have to be perfect in that. Okay, if I love taking a shower, let's say if I'm habitual of taking a shower 7 times a day, why don't I cut it to 3 times? Just start imperfectly, but why not just okay? And and
Also, we did one project on water a few years ago. So I had researched about some of these numbers. So like when you keep a tap on full power for 15 seconds, it's 1 liter.
yeah,
And if you keep the power maybe at 50% or less, you can still do the cleaning job,
yeah,
because water is the most soluble substance on this planet.
right.
So yeah, even with low water pressure, you can clean your dishes, clean your hands properly. You don't need the full pressure all the time. And even like with one toilet flush is about 13 to 15 liters, and
I
that's
think it's about 6 or 7 liters,
Okay.
like that.
so those are
Yeah.
6 bottles of water.
Yeah.
You can imagine 6 1-liter bottles of water.
And I'll just relate this to one of my field visits in Kutch, and this is where disparity comes. Like our one flush is around 6 liters, and there are families in Kutch, living in coastal Kutch, that survive on just 10 liters per day, in which they do everything. They drink, they bathe, they wash. And there are families that survive on even less. So we need to keep that in mind, that because we are living in a certain situation and we are sharing a resource that is common to all, and we are getting it so effortlessly, we have a huge responsibility on us.
Yeah. I remember once in a school workshop, we spoke to the children and gave them this example, that if one child has a lot of money and the other one doesn't, and the rich one keeps the taps on all the time at home and uses up all the water just because they can afford it. Meanwhile, the other family, they can't even afford that much water, so they have to save all the water. But in the end of the day, the groundwater table finishes and nobody has any water left.
Yeah.
So, like, you look at the different types of people over there, so you should not be that person who finishes the entire groundwater table for everybody else. And just because you can afford it, it's going to affect everybody. So you have to think smart and use things wisely. These are resources for everyone.
Right. And for water, I think it's more about availability and accessibility than affordability right now. Fortunately, because we aren't priced as such.
And even the groundwater table gets polluted, right?
Yes. So.
Like we're doing this project at Bhalswa, and that's the largest landfill in India. So all the poisonous stuff, the chemicals
that just seeps into the ground.
And people living nearby, they're getting water from the groundwater table.
Yeah.
So it's giving them skin issues and stuff because it's very harmful for them.
It's extremely harmful. Yeah.
So we need to clear up all this. And since we were talking about rivers, we can talk about the Yamuna Ji Abhiyan from Manoj Mishra.
Yeah.
So, I always used to meet him. He was always working on the rivers. I used to meet him in the court sometimes. We used to meet at the lawyer's office. Sometimes I've gone for his nature walks also, and we used to talk on the phone and discuss about the river situation here in Delhi. So many times he's helped our interns also to collect the data, and
and also he was a very humble person and a very he's a very persistent person. I actually had contacted him for my dissertation work. I done my dissertation on Ganga.
He was so helpful and very supportive also.
Yes, and he's done he was an IFS officer before that. He was a forester, and then he took on to the conservation of Yamuna. He's worked a lot on Yamuna, and I think he is an idol for me, and he should be. These are the right idols we should have.
Yeah, he was always very supportive, and even on Twitter he used to keep posting stuff, and we used to keep tagging each other. And he was supposed to be on our podcast also before this COVID came, and so yesterday was the memorial, and he's also released one book recently, 50 wild animals of India.
Okay.
So another thing about Divyasha is she's using her social media to spread awareness about environment conservation. So I think that's a really good thing that the way I'm seeing the youth coming up these days, there are very few people who are actually using social media for spreading awareness about environment conservation. So I think that's a really good thing that you're doing with that.
So I'll elaborate on that why I really started doing it. So I was talking about that River Citizen Connect, right? That how we have disconnected from the river. But what are we really connected to? We're connected to our phones. We are connected to our social media. So I thought I thought it would be a good idea to once in a while keep bringing these issues on the feeds of people, for myself as well and for others, to just between the get ready with me videos, spend a day with a river video, kind of a video is also very important, and it just strikes something within you. And having conversations on such topics is very important. When we sit, we need to talk. about such topics. That is why then the topic will become important, and that is when we will first talk about the problems, and then we'll start thinking about the solutions, and then we'll start aligning ourselves to the solutions and wanting to want to act on them.
Like what can we do about it?
Yes. So, yeah.
Do you have any message for the viewers, like or the listeners, people who are listening? One final message for them.
I don't know. I don't have a message as such, but
Something. What can they do today?
what can they do today? They can be conscious of how much water they have used and what are the possible ways they can reduce the water, because a lot of see, what government is trying to do right now is it has a duty to supply water to you,
Yeah.
right? But we have a duty to reduce the demand. This
Right.
is what we can do, right?
Yeah.
So our duty is to reduce the demand in whatever way we can do. If you have a particular level of authority in your society, then maybe installing a decentralized wastewater system so that you can. So there are various levels of interventions you can take, and the smallest interventions are the most often, easily missed interventions, but are also the most important interventions. For example, just closing the tap while brushing. It's so simple, but a lot of people don't do it.
Yeah.
It's so simple.
That's research which I done. So if you keep the tap on for 2 minutes, you're spending how much? 1, 2, 3, 4. About 8 liters of water, 8 bottles of water just to brush your
a
teeth.
significant amount of water is being wasted, and that water that is coming to our to our houses, to taps, it is very energy and very capital intensive. It's not just coming from the river as it is. It's been treated,
Yeah.
and then it's coming to you, and it's just imagine that water that has been treated and it's been cleaned, and it's so energy and capital intensive. It's just become grey water without being used.
Yeah.
That's nonsensical on our part as citizens, and I don't think we should do that.
Yeah. So we should be more conscious about how we're using our water resource.
Yeah,
Even
we
though
can
it's-
use the so we have RO filters right now in Delhi a lot. So the wastewater, we can use it for sweeping, we can use it for multi other purposes, for washing the car or whatever. So, but that needs effort, and also a thought.
Some people are doing it. I think more people need to research
More
about
people
it and start seeing what they can do at home. Right. So now we've come to the end of the podcast, except we're going to play a whisper challenge. Okay, so we've got some chits over here made by our teammate here, Saina. I haven't seen the chits yet. Okay, we got thumbs up there. So we're going to choose any chit from here. Do you want to go first?
Okay, I'll whisper first.
So I have to wear the headphones.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Make sure it's loud.
Go.
Loud enough. Big bug bit the little bit.
What is
It's really long.
so, the big
Bug.
the big black fox? No. The big
Bug.
black bark. The big bark.
Bit.
Bees.
Bit.
How many words are there?
7.
7 words. Okay. The big
Bug.
bark.
Bit.
Bite. Bite. Bit. Bit the little. The little bee. I think we're not allowed to say that online. Okay, do it again. Beetle.
I was forgotten.
Okay, so the big black bark, something bite The little beetle.
The big bug with the little beetle. There's no black.
Okay, I think that's close enough. Whoa.
This was long.
This was the one, huh? Okay. Ready? Plucking berries. Plucking berries. 2 words. Plucking. Plucking.
Burger.
Plucking.
Water.
Can I do actions? Plucking berries. Okay, second word.
Second word.
Berries.
Come again.
Berries.
Panther.
Berries. I have to do some actions for this. So first word. Plucking.
Pluck.
Yeah. Plucking. Second word. Berries. Berries.
Come again.
Berries. Berries.
Berries.
Yeah. Plucking
Pluck
berries.
berries.
Okay, yeah, it's fine. Plucking berries. It was plucking berries.
Plucking berries. We made it more of that thing. Damsharaj thing.
Yeah, I had to do the action. Okay. Dancing hot dogs.
Whoa. Yeah.
Right.
How did you get that?
How's that possible?
Did he already know?
I'm good at reading your lips. Okay, now it's my turn. Okay. Fresh fruits for you. 4 words. Wait. The song is over. Okay, 4 words.
Four
Fresh.
words. First word.
Fresh.
French.
Fresh.
Fresh.
Yeah. Fruit.
Food.
Fruit.
Fruit.
Yeah. For
For
you.
you.
Yeah.
Fresh fruit for you.
Yeah.
Hang on.
Can you hit this fan of some, I don't know how it's... Here. Just turn the knob clockwise once. Once more. Okay. Now it's your turn.
Once more. I think there's only one person.
We did 4, right? Oh, this is the last one. How many did we do?
We did 2 each.
We did 2 each. Oh, then we're done. We can do 1 more. Okay. Try again. I love trees.
See, I knew you will get this one.
It seems like something else first, then I have to hear it 2-3 times to confirm. Okay, so that was fun. How was your experience on the first podcast?
I love talking about water, and I enjoyed talking about water.
Okay.
And yeah, I had a fun conversation.
But how much water do you have every day?
I don't drink a lot of water, to be honest.
You
I have to keep on
conserving water.
reminding myself that I'm not conserving it. It's just that I forget about it.
Okay. We have a gift for you. It's over there. For coming for our show. Yeah. Thank you for coming on our show.
Thank
you can check out
you.
what we have inside this bag.
I have a wonderful frame. Which bird is this?
It's the Oriental White Iron.
And where do we find this
In
bird?
Delhi, you find it.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
I'm going to look out for this bird now.
They go for
There's
the
something else.
nectar and the flowers.
Crazy.
We got some more goodies in that bag. This is a cloth bag also, which we have
Yeah.
made. So that
It'll
people,
come in handy.
people stop using plastic bags.
Okay, wow. This is a bird guide,
Yeah.
right?
This is a beginner's guide we've made for how to identify some of the common birds in Delhi. And this one is about how to approach dogs.
Okay, how
Are you-
to approach bird?
Are
Dogs.
You, are you
Okay.
afraid of dogs?
No.
Okay. You can give that to someone who's afraid of dogs. I'll send them a
Let's just
picture.
read it.
Yeah.
Maybe I'm doing something wrong. But I don't think I'm doing something wrong. They come to me very.
If they're friendly,
Yeah,
then
they're
you're
not.
doing
Yeah,
something
they're
right.
friendly. They're friendly.
Yeah.
Thank you.
And the t-shirt.
Okay, how much stuff are you doing?
So this is about
देखो गधे के हाथ में प्लास्टिक की थैली. Perfect. I always want to say this to people. I'm never able to say this. This is
this size
perfect.
fits you. This is a large.
I think this is the best thing ever.
Yeah.
This speaks the mind.
And it's got a plastic bag stuck. It's got two meanings because sometimes we see the donkeys at the.
I'm going to wear this all the time. All the
Yeah, I
time.
should wear. All our friends and supporters who've taken this t-shirt, they love wearing it.
Yeah.
It's a good
This is
conversation
very-
starter.
Yeah, this is very good. This is a very good t-shirt.
And it's double meaning because animals also at these garbage dumps, they're looking for food and the plastic gets stuck on their hands, in their mouth, in their stomach. So that's one way to look at it. Second way is people still using plastic bags instead of cloth bags. Okay, so thank you for coming on our show, and we'll see you soon. And looking forward to see more of your stuff on social media. All the listeners, go and follow Divyasha on Instagram. Check out the different environment conservation messages on the stories. And that's it. Thank you for watching. See you all next time. Bye bye.
Thank you.